السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. رجعنا لكم مرة ثانية أحمد، ورجعنا لكم مرة ثانية بالتختيم الأول. خلينا نبلش ونقول بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، ويلا نبلش معكم في تختيم أول جزء من أجزاء ميتل جير، وهو أيضا أجمل جزء، اللي هو ميتل جير سوليد 3 سنيك إيتر. يعني ميتل جير سوليد 3 أكل الأفاعي، هيك اسمه أكل الأفاعي. لأنه إحنا هسه لحظة، أنا حطيتها على إيش؟ لحظة سامحوني، أنا حطيت على اليوزر تاعي. خلينا نروح نغير اليوزر. طبعا سيدي اقول لكم شغله هامه، اسف. شغله هامه انه هسه شو قصه تواريخ هاي تحت التواريخ. هاي تواريخ القصه، يعني القصه باي سنه انصنعت. طبعا هسه بتقولوا لي سنه 1964 اخترعت اللعبه. لا، سنه 1964 ما اخترعت اللعبه. القصه نفسها احداثها متى بتدور. يعني احداثها جزء 3 هو اول احداث في السلسله عام 1964. البيس ووكر عام 1974. سانز اوف ليبرتي عام 2007 2009 لكن. واحداث الجراوند زيروز اللي هو بعد بيس ووكر احداثه نفس السنه. بقى نفس السنه. نفس السنه، لكن احداث ذا فانتوم بين اللي هو هذا الجزء احداث سنه 1984. طبعا ما ححكي لانه كثير القصه كبيره وعميقه جدا. بعد هذا الاحداث على طول حيجي الجزء الاول اللي هو سنه 2005، لكن انا ما حلعبه. بعديها حيجي الجزء الثاني واللي هو سنة 2007 و2009، ونهاية القصة تكمل بالجزء الرابع. الجزء الرابع اللي هو هذا الجزء الرابع. الجزء الرابع هذا هو الجزء الرابع. ما اعرفش الشيء مش مبين، لكن المهم انه يعني نلعبه. انه نهاية القصة، نهاية كل شيء، ونهاية البيج بوس، ونهاية الايفا، ونهاية هذول كلهم يعني. فلذلك يعني نتحمس شوي. يلا خلينا نشغل، وبعد ما تشيل المقدمات بنرجع لكم. طبعا هسه في معظم الناس بتقول طب ليه ما نزل جزء يعني ليه ما نزل الجزء الثالث هو اول جزء، وليه ما نزل الجزء الثاني اسف الجزء البيس ووكر هو ثاني جزء؟ ليه؟ هو القصة كانت جدا مخربطة، يعني نزلت في اوقات، يعني نزلت مخربطة يعني. وكل لعبة لها فكر معين، يعني كل فكر مخصص إلها. يعني في أفكار جدا عميقة في هاي اللعبة، يعني صعب إني تنقال، يعني فيها فيديو خاص إلها. لكن يعني أنا ما راح أدخل الأشياء هذه. طبعا قصة هاي راح تبلش من أجمل الألعاب اللي ممكن تلعبها في حياتك مثل كيس. يعني نبلش نقول بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لاود جيم، لا مش لاود جيم، حنعمل نيو جيم. طبعا هون احنا حيجيبون يعني انت اول مره تلعب حياتك مثل جير سوليد، او انت بتحب مثل جير سوليد 1، او انت بتحب مثل جير سوليد 2، او بتحب مثل جير سوليد 3. يعني نقول له احنا اول مره راح نلعب مثل جير سوليد، مع انه هاي يعني انا يعني لعبتها، لكن يلا عشان يعني حنبلش من هون، يعني تختيم السلسله كلها. طبعا هذا جزء نزل سنه 2004. طبعا هنا ايش الصعوبة. طبعا أنا ما هختار هارد لأنه بكره الهارد، ولا بختار ايزي لأنه جدا سهل. فراح نختار الأول. الفرق ايزي هي يعني ما اعرفش مين حاططها، يعني حاططها على البيبي. يلا. طبعا اللعبة انصنعت سنة 2004، ويعني قديم شوي، فلا ما حد يلاحظ في
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
هم بقولوا لك بعد الحرب العالمية الثانية العالم انقسم نصفين. القسم الأول الغرب، القسم الثاني الشرق. الغرب قصده عن أمريكا، والشرق قصده عن الاتحاد السوفيتي عام 1964. يعني هذا الاشي تسمى في الحرب الباردة. فهمت علي كيف؟ أنا بيجيبون المشهد الكاتسين. August.
Altitude 30,000 feet. Approaching Soviet airspace. 20 minutes to drop off. Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm A parachute. All right. You ready to go? Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cab okay. Good. We've got high visibility.
هذا الشخص اللي اسمه هو سنيك حاليا عشان مهمة سرية جدا. طبعا ما احكي خلاص.
Put on your mask. Does this panty waste know what he's doing? Approaching release point. 10 minutes to drop off. Hey, are you deaf? He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
اوه السيجارة الكوبية هاي من السيجارة الكوبية.
Depressurization complete. Checking oxygen supply.
خلاص انت ما بتفهم شو قاعد بيصير.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
لكن هسه بتعرف كل شيء هسه بعد هاي اللقطة. فما حد يشوف اللقطات لأن اللقطات جدا طويلة في اللعبة لأنه هاي دي كوجيما. دي كوجيما بحب اللقطات الطويلة.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up. You'll be flying at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill. 1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
خلاص بشغل في الكاميرا.
This is one for the history books.
خليني أعدلها.
First Halo jump.
أشوفها لحظة.
Seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay.
خلاص بس. هي قاعد شغل في الكاميرا بس.
Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spread your wings and fly. God be with you.
هاي نطة. بلشت الأحداث. ترى ما حصدق أحداث اللعبة. أحداث اللعبة جدا رائعة. أوبا.
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the virtuous mission.
Virtual.
هون فهمت كل شيء. شو هاللي بيصير يعني.
Virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
أنا هسه رايحين على virtuos mission. اسمها المهمة virtuos mission. هسه بتعرف إيش هي virtuos mission وإيش هي المهمة.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training arc.
Right.
خلاص أنا.
So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
ما هي هذه المهمة الجميلة يعني. هسه حنفهم.
About 2 years ago,
قبل ثنتين.
a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
يقولوا إنه هذا سوغولوف كان في الغرب.
The very
كان يصنع عنه أسلحة نووية ويعني كان
On
يصمم
April
أسلحة
12,
كثير كبيرة.
1961,
بس الاتحاد السوفيتي راح أخذه. بس إحنا رايحين نروح ناخذه. واللي هو أصلاً صمم
But there was no God.
الصاروخ عشان يروح على أمريكا أو الاتحاد السوفيتي روسيا يعني على الفضاء. هو اللي أول واحد صمم هذا التصميم.
Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story. So why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid.
Call it
خايف.
a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence.
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west. He used a mole to get the family out first and succeeded in
جدار
sending
برلين.
Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
اللي هي أزمة الثورات
The
الكوبية.
Missile Crisis.
October 16, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba.
اوكي فهمنا عليهم انه لازم الثورات الكوبية.
Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba, and so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
أمريكا يعني بدها
The
ترجع
Soviets pulled
سوكولوف.
out Cuba
فهمنا
just to
عليك.
get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
ما أخذوه السوفيات عشان
What the
يستعملوه.
hell was he working on?
شو يسموهم إيش؟
At the time, we had no idea.
لحد الآن لسه مش عارفين شو بدهم
We were
يسموهم.
running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice.
أوكي فهمنا عليك.
President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handing him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight.
Well.
Then a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
فعرفنا إنه معلومات عنه about سوكولوف نعم.
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and
راح
forced to
رجع عند
continue
مباحث
working on
العلمية.
the question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No, according to our intelligence, he's in Selinoyarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
أوكي هو موجود هناك.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
طيب فهمنا عليهم. أصلا إحنا فهمنا هون إحنا ليش رايحين وين وليش بدنا ننزل يعني الفيرتشوس ميشن نروح نرجع سوكولوف لأمريكا عشان أخذوه من الاتحاد السوفيتي. فأمريكا صارت بدها مين سوكولوف ترجع بسبب يعني أزمة الثورات الكوبية وهيك فخافت يعني مين الاتحاد فخافت أمريكا الاتحاد السوفيتي يسوي يعني إشي كبير جدا. فخافت هنا أمريكا فإيش طلبت من الاتحاد السوفيتي إنها ترجع سوكولوف. الاتحاد السوفيتي رفض فصار يعني إيش إنه اختفى سوكولوف. لما اختفى سوكولوف بطلوا يعرفوا أي شيء عنه. هون خلاص تركوا. أول ما صار بعديها صار عرفوا إنه وين مكان سوكولوف وصاروا بدهم يرجعوه مرة ثانية. صاروا بدهم سوكولوف مرة ثانية. فإيش راحوا عملوا فيرتشوس ميشن وفتحت لهم CIA ليجن CIA عشان نروح سنيك لوين لعند الفيرتشوس ميشن وياخذ سوكولوف ويرجعه لأمريكا ويروح يشوف أولاده هناك عشان بعدين ما نسوي ايش شو اسمها الاتحاد السوفيتي ايش كبير. هذه الان هو لحد الان مش معروف ايش هو الشيء الكبير قاعد بتسوي. فرايحين هنا ناخذه.
The fully surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy. It's been combat-proof.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat talon?
She's equipped with two 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as two 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few
طبعا هاي
hours.
لعبة جد قديمة، نزلت على البلاي ستيشن 2
Time for dinner.
ونزلت سنة 2004. كان بس الجرافيكس الناس
You'll
شو
be eating dinner, breakfast,
And all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
ولا نزلنا. هاي هون نزلنا عشان نروح نسترجع صقرف وناخده ونوديه على امريكا. هاي هون احنا رحنا. تبعتوا فاكرين بس هيك يعني هيك بلش اللعبة. لسه حياتي مطول حنطول. US Army يسوي سنايك يعني عضو في ال US. تعال نشوف وجهك. سنيك ديفيد هيتر، وهذا الصوت ديفيد هيتر يعني. يلا هاي بلشنا من الاتصال. صرنا في هو هذاك السنة اللي ما حكيت بيت زيرو.
You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in.
اوكي
From
ماشي.
here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake.
في هذا
I'll be
المهم لازم يكون
referring
اسمنا
to
نيكد
Snake
سنيك
from now on.
او
Not
اسمك
to
سنيك يعني.
mention your real name.
يعني انا نستخدم اسمك الحقيقي يعني
Well, you
اسمه
don't.
افعى يعني.
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
كلتهم؟
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
والحذر.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
ليش اسمه
Let's see. I'll be
ضيق يعني.
Tom. Call me Major Tom.
نسميه ميتشر توم.
This will be a sneaking mission.
هاي حتكون
You
مهمة
must not
يعني
be seen by
سرية.
the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear?
يب.
This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great.
Great.
Now,
نعم عظيم.
somebody asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
طيب
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack.
I lost in the
it
tree.
in the tree on the way down.
باك باك اللي ناخذ منها اسلحة والطعام وبناخذ منها كل الاشياء. طبعا هاي لعبة سرفايفل طبعا.
Well, you better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
فهي هناك
No
موجودة.
problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button.
Action button.
I'll be
Okay.
monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship.
طيب ماشي.
My frequency is 140.
عشان نروح عليه لازم نكبس
I'll give you a call
140
if I need
اوكي.
to talk to you.
طيب ماشي.
If you need to talk to me, use the send function.
طيب ماشي.
Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
اوكي يلا هسه. طبعا هون حنبلش لعب واخيرا بعد فيديو مدته يمكن حوالي اشي وشويات. طبعا هذا اللعب زي ما انتم شايفين. خلينا هسه نروح ناخذ الباك باك عشان الاغراض والامور. طيب زحف اسحب. اطلع هسه. اوكي روح هون. ماشي. هون بس اكشن بutton واللي هي مثلث. اطلع. طيب روح هون. طيب تقدر استلت. اخذنا الاكشن باتن. اخذنا اسف الباك باك. ولا حبيت اتصل.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake.
يب اخذناها.
To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack.
اوكي.
In the survival viewer, choose weapon from the backpack. Your available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left. From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the enter button. For other equipped items, just do the same thing from item.
Okay.
Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's it. Survival is fundamental to this mission. After you've been out in the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance.
بيقول إذا الستامينا تاعتك قلت روح يعني اعمل أكل يعني.
Won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
Okay.
My only weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun.
It's been fitted with its own suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire. Once its durability reaches 0, the noise suppression effect will be gone.
Okay.
So don't get too trigger happy with it. The suppressor's durability is shown in the icon.
Okay.
Any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find as you go.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment.
لازم احنا نبحث عن أسلحتنا وأغراضنا. لازم نبحث احنا بأنفسنا.
It's a standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat or...
يعني إذا تدخل على منطقة لازم تفتشها تفتيش هائل عشان ناخذ منها أسلحة أكل وإيش يفيدنا.
It's already a violation of international conventions of warfare. There aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia. It could spark an international incident.
Okay.
Can't let anyone see you.
لا تدع أي واحد يشوفك.
Enemy know you're there.
لا تدع أي enemy يشوفك.
Snake in
أنت
every
وحش.
sense of the word. There'll be no rescue if you're captured. The military and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
Okay.
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy.
عشان نعمل حالنا إنه إحنا متنا. ناخذ هذه. طيب هيك إحنا متنا.
That I'm really dead. So how do I come back to life?
كيف نرجع للحياة؟
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
لازم هسه نحط الإشي نحطه في ثمنا عشان نرجع.
If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back.
Okay. فهمت.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission data. She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She?
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
اسمه حقيقي جون دو.
Jack, for short.
لكن احنا فعلا مهم مسميناه سنيك عشان مهمة
A
سرية.
name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your name?
هو اسمك.
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.
هذا رقم إذا حضرته بتتصل عليها.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserve.
إذا قد تسيف اللعبة نروح من هنا
0.96.
نكتب هذا الرقم ونروح
So
نسيف.
it lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
بين هو؟
Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you?
هذا جميع the boss.
Soldier and your mentor.
الجندي الأسطوري.
Boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
Boss is?
She
The
also
boss.
helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years
بوس
has it been?
ترى هذه يعني
Boss?
ما حسيت وش حيصير بالاخير بالنهايه شيء مو طبيعي.
Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
يعني اسمع صوتك.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
و18
You've
ساعه
lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
خمس
Of course
سنين
I can. I
مش
know
شايفين
all
بعض.
about
5 سنين
you.
مش شايفين بعض.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd
هذا
you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top secret mission.
كانت في مهمه سريه جدا.
You didn't need me anymore.
انت لا تحتاجني
But
بعد
there were
الان.
still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that.
كيف
A
يصبح جندي؟
soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In
لازم
fact,
الجندي القوي لازم
technique
يكون
doesn't even
قوي
matter. What's most
وعنده
important is
تكنيكس يعني
spirit.
مهارات واشياء.
Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself.
Okay.
Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you, Jack. I was on a top secret mission.
كانت
A
مهمة سرية
soldier
جدا.
has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You're a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission.
يعني الجندي ما بيعرف ولا شيء غير مهمته يعني.
That's what being a soldier is.
هذا
I
يعني
do
يكون
whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you.
Oh.
In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's
Oh.
a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The
لازم
president and the
ندافع
top
عن
brass
بلدتك.
won't be
تعمل أي شيء
there.
عشان.
Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's
الأوقات.
values change over time, and so do the leaders of a country. So there's no such thing as an enemy.
رجعنا لكم بعد حديث طويل يعني.
Try to remember some of the basics of seeking.
هسه أفهمكم شو حكت هي. طيب.
Commencing virtuous mission now.
يلا هاي رحنا الفيرجوس ميشن. طبعا انا بكون معي على نهاية الحلقة لأن الحلقة كثير طولت مدت نص ساعة. لكن تفهم شو حكت. حكت انه يعني انا رايح على كل حدا حديث سمعته قبل شوي. حكت انه انا رايح اساعدك في البحث عن سوكولاف ونروح انا وياك نبحث عن سوكولاف. هي راحت من الجهة الغربية انا رحت من الجهة الشرقية. هي حتروح انا وياها نتلاقى مع بعض وناخذ سوكولاف ونضلنا رايحين يعني. طبعا انت حتتحمس شو حيصير بالباقي وهيك. وناخذ سوكولاف ونضلنا طالعين. لكن يعني حيصير في اشياء كثير. يعني عن جد حيصير في اشياء كثير عن جد مو طبيعية. صحيح على سنيك شو الاشياء الكثير هذه؟ صار احكي لها خلاص بعدين. طب بعدين وقت عليهم زيرو صار احكي لهم زيرو ميجر زيرو توم. ميجر توم اسمه شو زيرو. اسمه حقيقي زيرو لكن هو سمى حاله ميجر توم عشان مهمة. صار احكي لهم يعني هسه لازم تروح تبحث عن سوكولاف بس مش هذا المهم. احنا هسه فيرجوس ميشن المهمة لازم نركز فيها. صار احكي لهم اوكي يلا ماشي وضلهم رايحين على فيرجوس ميشن. هي دربته وعلمته ودربته على السلاح ودربته ايش اسمه سي كيو سي. هذا هو السي كيو سي. السيكيوسي هو المهارات التكنيكية عشان الضرب وهيك. بس هاي نهاية الحلقة، بتمنى تكون الحلقة عجبتكم. إذا عجبتكم حط لايك، ولا تنسى سبسكرايب، واعمل شير مع أصحابك. السلام عليكم.